Hi, we're back. Okay, so we're in the middle of an ice storm here in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, so that might be affecting our internet service a little bit. I'm having to broadcast from my phone, so that's going to limit things just a little bit, but we can make it work. So I will have to move this because so that you can see it. Bring it a little closer. I'll adjust this. Okay, gotta love technology, right? So what we were talking about was physical imbalances. And those physical imbalances could show up in a number of ways. They could range from the consequences being from not getting enough sleep. It could be from not eating the correct diet. It could be not having the correct nutrients in our food because they're grown in depleted soil. So lack of sleep, poor nutrients, poor diet. Something else that can contribute to that is poor choices. And one of the poor choices that people choose, kind of unknowingly, but kind of knowingly, is poor company. And it's like, if you have someone that you associate with and it feels like they drain your energy or they're too much for you, that also can affect you in adverse ways and make you feel physically drained. It can drain your energy. So these are some physical ways that we can experience imbalances. I'm gonna get my markers so we can write some of those down for you. So we had to rearrange things a little bit because we lost internet service. I apologize about that. We're having an ice storm in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. I'm Michele Wildflower. I welcome you to Nature's Mysteries Medicine Show. And today we're exploring some safer alternatives for our families that might not have as many side effects as the doctor's medicines that they prescribe for us and our families. If you are tuning in, if you want to just drop in the comments where you're tuning in from, and we can check in and say hi. I welcome everyone, and I thank you for joining us in our first episode of Nature's Mysteries Medicine Show. So, imbalances we were going over. One could be physical. Are you able to see that? Okay. You could just type yes in the comments if you're able to see that. So another, so we'll just put a 1 next to that one. And I'm going to try to use different colored markers because if you are using different colored markers, it stimulates parts of your brain. And that's why I'm going to ask you to type yes in the comments and just interact with me a little bit so that we can try to stimulate our brains so we can try to remember this information that you're trying to remember to help your families feel better. Okay, so we're going over imbalances. The first imbalance could be caused by a physical imbalance. The second imbalance could be caused by a chemical cause. Now, can anyone think like what that might be? Like what kind of chemical? What could that be? So in our environment, there's lots of chemicals that we come in contact with every day. Those could be anywhere from cleaning products that we use in our house, or if we work in an office or a big building, there could be cleaning materials in there. There's lots of occupations that actually have really toxic, like my husband's a builder and plumber, electrician, and like in a plumbing field, there's all these, actually they kind of changed it now with PVC pipes or whatever, but there used to be all this really toxic plumber's glue and pressure treated wood. They actually took that off the market now, but for many years there was folks who were using pressure treated wood. And if you look on the tag of what is our new solution for pressure treated wood, it actually says not to wash those clothes with your other laundry, which it didn't even say that before, so I'm not sure that it's a much better option than pressure treated wood, but I guess they're trying, right? So you want to avoid chemicals. There could be chemicals in our body care products. There could be chemicals right now, so many of them in your bathroom that you might not even expect, You might be blown away, even if it says all natural. It doesn't matter. You really have to be the one who's checking and reading labels and being diligent, because a lot of times they'll like slide them in. Like methylparaben is one that you want to avoid. It actually goes directly to your breasts and deposits in them, causing tumors. I actually wrote in my book, I don't know, some of you know, I wrote a book, Discover the Essence of Plant Medicine, the 5 Principles of Life-Saving Herbs. It was actually, I was contracted to write that as an herbal course for the University of Natural Health, and it's a prerequisite. All the students that go through the school have to read my book and take my course. And in there, we explore varying conditions, and it's about 650 pages, so it definitely keep you busy. And in there, in the back of the book, I actually compiled a complete list of toxins that are found in skincare products, what part of your body they affect, and the derivative, just so that you could take that and look in your medicine cabinet and see. And if you have them in there, then, you know, either get rid of them or know that it could be you that is bringing those into your house that you could be avoiding with more natural options. So, chemical is the second one. The third one that could be an imbalance that we're experiencing is electromagnetic. And an electromagnetic balance could be, okay, so wait, I just wanted to say one more thing about the chemicals. So it could be, also it could be like lawn care. When people come and take care of your lawn, they a lot of times spray chemicals and pesticides on there. So that's another one that you want to look out for, is your skincare products, your lawn care, your household cleaners, and whatever might be in your environment, you know, like candles, those real aromatic candles that smell kind of fake, those actually have fragrance in them, and fragrance actually has over 400 different chemicals that they don't have to list, that we don't really know what they are, but we know that they cause all kinds of disturbances and imbalances within our system. I'm just going to take a drink of water because I'm talking a lot. Do you feel like any of this is good information for you? If you're learning anything, you can just type yes in the comments. Welcome again to Nature's Mysteries Medicine Show. This is our first episode. We're talking about imbalances. So now I want to go over some electromagnetic imbalances. Do you have any idea what that could be? So, every living cell in our body is filled with health and light, right? I mean, so that's one of my affirmations that I say. So every cell in our body has an electrical current running through it. So we are actually electrical beings. We have like a vibration. So in the 60s, when they used to say, you know, good vibes, it was kind of true, because we all are vibrating at our own frequency. And certain things that we bring into our vibration or into our energy field can either inhibit our energy, or it could actually enhance our energy. So electromagnetic imbalances could be caused from, can you guys think of any yourself? Anybody can? So one might be carrying your cell phone on you, because cell phones have their own frequency. And so when you bring it into your energy field, it can affect your vibration. So that's one. Wi-Fi routers, they put out EMFs. If you're not familiar with EMFs, they're electromagnetic fields, and they're actually harmful to the human body. So that is something else that you want to try to avoid. Some people, if they're experiencing cancer or immune compromised individuals, will actually turn off their Wi-Fi routers at night just to try to eliminate some of that. If you have a smart meter on your house, you could try to make sure that your bed isn't on the wall where the smart meter is. And some of us live in places where there's just so much like electromagnetic smog, they call it, where if you're like in an apartment building or something like that and everybody has their Wi-Fi on and everybody has their cell phones going, some people are actually very sensitive to that, and it can cause all kinds of disturbances. Children can be very sensitive to that. And my grandson actually told me when he was in 4th grade that his teacher told him not to sleep with his bed within 4 feet of his head, with his cell phone within 4 feet of his bed, or within his 4 feet range of his head. So, and that was many years ago, because he's 16 now. So if they knew that research then they definitely know that now. So I always recommend that people sleep with their cell phones kind of outside the room. You know, I mean, like, you could have it close enough where you could hear if someone needed you, but you just don't need to have it so close that it would be interfering with your frequency, especially when you're trying to sleep. Because like we talked about with physical imbalances, when you're trying to sleep and you have something interfering with that, it can create inflammation in our body. It can, you know, increase anxiety, stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. So we want to make sure we get enough sleep, and we want to eliminate as many factors as we can that are interfering with our sleep patterns. So, does anybody feel like any of this is making any sense to you? Has anyone ever experienced any of these imbalances yourself? You can just drop them in the comments. I know I'm giving you a lot of information. Maybe you just want to like move your body a little bit so you can like put the energy back in your body, so you're, you know, not just kind of like lulling out, and you can take in the information that we're trying to provide. So, as we were saying, we were looking for safer alternatives for our families. When a doctor prescribes us antibiotics, which I'm not saying isn't necessary, but when it is prescribed, it can actually destroy our healthy flora in our stomach, and 80% of our immune system is in our gut. So if you're looking for a safer alternative maybe than a conventional antibiotic, you could try Colloidal Silver. Sovereign Silver is the only brand that I would use, and they've been around for a long time. Their particle size is very little, and people have been using Colloidal Silver as an antibiotic, antiviral, antifungal, antiparasitic, antimicrobial. They actually used to put it in water. In the old days, they put silver coins in the water, and that would actually help filter and purify the water. So people have known about using silver for a long time. It's been around in like ancient Greece, they used it. And so that's a viable option and it's a wonderful option because you could put it in your eyes. If you had you felt like you had, any kind of eye infection starting, if you felt like you had a nasal infection, you could put it in your nose. You can wash it on any kind of wound. We used it my daughter's whole life. Anytime, I actually have 4 daughters, and whenever they were sick, that was always our go-to. We would check on Mother Nature's pantry and see what we could use in there. And that's where we found all of our options throughout their childhood. So I know that they work. And any of the information that we're providing in this show is not meant to override anything your doctor tells you. It's just useful information that we've used throughout my daughter's childhood and my grandson's, that we have found very useful, and I'm just trying to pass on that information for you as well. So I'm just going to get another drink. And I wanted to let you guys know on Saturday, I'm actually hosting an Herbal Remedies for Children, which is a free masterclass that will be for 45 minutes of instruction and then 15 minutes of Q&A. And if anyone would like to join us, you can drop the link in the comments. And so I had my computer all set up and everything, and I was all ready to do that, and then the internet went out. And good thing for cell phones, right? Because otherwise I wouldn't really be able to do the show now. But everything's a little different than how I had pictured it. So I appreciate you guys for bearing with me and your patience, and I will try to figure out how to put those links in there. But if it ends up that I don't figure it out for some reason, you can always go on our website at naturesmysteries.com and sign up there for our free Herbal Remedies for Children Masterclass, which is going to be this Saturday at 2 p.m. And we would love to see you there. Okay, so let's move our bodies a little bit. Type yes in the comments if you're still with me. I don't know if you all know, I actually just started a school, and we're certified, actually we're accredited with the American Association of Drugless Practitioners, meaning that upon completion of our Holistic Health Practitioner program, you can apply to become a board certified holistic health practitioner. So if you would like to turn your passion into your profession, take your business up the next level, and just have that accreditation, there's a lot of programs out there that are offering courses, but not many of them are accredited. And that was one of the things in 30 years ago when I was beginning my herbal journey, and I was looking for programs. It was hard to find ones that were actually accredited by an organization, which is what I was really looking for, because I felt like if I was going to show the certificate to someone, if it wasn't accredited by anybody, then it might not be taken seriously. So we are accredited by the American Association of Drugless Practitioners. We're very excited about that. Our spring session begins April 20th, 2023, and we meet every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. virtually for an hour. So you can do it in the comfort of your own home, on your couch, in your pajamas. And then there will also be a two discussion posts in the group chat per week. It's a 6-week program, and the book is about 650 pages. We're using my book, Discover the Essence of Plant Medicine, the 5 Principles of Life-Saving Herbs. And it has 650 pages, like I said. There's 9 chapters. We've split it into 3 modules. And so it seems like it would probably be about 2 chapters a week, but the 7th chapter is where we profile 33 different herbs. We go over growing, harvesting, storing, preparations, applications. And so that's a really long chapter. So, I mean, that's a really long, chapter. So I think we'll probably have that be one of the whole weeks, so that that one can just be, you can just take that all in instead of having to have another chapter lumped in with that one. There's also a chapter about herbs for children. There's a chapter about pet cancer and why it's so prevalent now, whereas before it wasn't really as prevalent as it is now. There's research in there, lots of research, over 150 different recipes, 99 different herbal definitions. We go over some of the important founders of medicine and who they were. We talk about a little bit about traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicines. We go over biodynamic gardening. I don't know if anybody is a gardener here, just type garden if you want to hear more about the garden part of it. So gardening organic is really important because, like I said before, if the food that we're eating is low quality, then we're not going to receive the nutrients from it that are important for proper functioning of our systems. So we talk about biodynamic gardening methods. Those are really interesting because you're kind of observing the moon while you're planting your seeds, doing your transplanting. Harvesting is all kind of based on where the moon is going through the constellations in the sky. So it's really interesting to utilize those astrological influences in our garden practices. So anyway, getting back to imbalances. So where do you think emotions would come into that? Do you think emotions would be a physical imbalance? Would it be a chemical imbalance? Or do you